guys, welcome to Castle of Legends. Just thought I'd do a recap video. I just got over my, I guess, 100 subscribers now, which I think actually happened last week. So I do thank you. And yeah, I just thought, I'd kind of go through the first dozen projects that are actually completed, and just kind of do like a recap video, and then kind of give you like a sneak peek for some up and coming projects as well, and kind of take it from there. So just kind of in random order. You might have seen this on one of the videos. This is basically a station wagon that I had done with just a rocket on the back, and it was the general idea of the build was to kind of walk you through how to use some of the paint stripper, and kind of leave the original tampos and the design and coloration of the Hot Wheels car on it, but then add my own details as well to that. So in the end, it became quite rusty and battle hardened, I guess you might say, with just a rocket on the back. I believe this is a Cadillac. This is one of my early cars that I had done. All in brown, and then I used salt on it to kind of give it a rusty effect. I think when I did it, I actually had masking tape on the top here with some water got through. So when I spray painted it, it kind of came up with this really neat effect on here, and I almost can't replicate it. I've been trying to, but it's pretty neat. And I used I think the pastels on this car as well when I first started doing that. So this is, it's got a ram and a machine gun on the front. This buggy here is kind of a simple one. It was painted brown just like the Cadillac originally, and then I just kind of hand painted it green, and then quite simply added a mesh and some pastel for rust, and I used some marker on it to brighten up the wheels a little bit. So the idea behind this one is like it just has some drivers that are throwing out the Molotov cocktails. This was a recent one. This is the Phantom. You might have actually seen that on the channel quite recently, and basically it's just like a classic car. I should have actually looked at what this was. Mounted to, it looks like a Mercury, I guess. Mounted to a funky looking Hot Wheels car that had a really cool engine, and I thought it'd be neat to combine the two of them. So this is how it turned out, into like a big rig. So definitely a good showpiece. This one was actually a sample paint car that I was going to do, that it wasn't quite turning out the way I wanted it to, so I went in a completely different direction. Took a Warhammer Space Marine arm, like a weapon, turned it into an engine, and just mounted a Space Marine gun on the top, and then put some, this is like the drywall mesh, and then I hand painted it over top of the yellow paint that I gave the car. So I think it actually still comes apart, so you can still see inside. There's the arm, and yeah, it just sticks back together nicely like that. This is like an early car that I had done, one of the Hemi Cudas with a machine gun. Nothing really too special. I remember masking off the door. It was painted brown, and then I hand painted it all blue as well. This guy here I really kind of like, and I'm going to do a few more like this. Basically it's just like a racer. No real rust on it. It was done in, it originally was red, and I painted it red again with spray paint, and then I use like paint markers to bring out the details all over the car, and I use like a wash on it, and little tiny machine gun here in the front. But it looks really cool. I really like that one. It's actually one of my favorites. Then I've got this green machine here, performance car with a flamethrower that I modified from a Games Workshop, with a cable running to the back fuel tank. And this one's actually this is the first makeup car that I had done. So I was using makeup to basically detail out all the rust areas and created like a really almost like realistic kind of effect. And I used I used some like the tan color on the bottom here to give it like the dust, like really like dirt all around it, so you could really see the detail there. And then of course the screening's actually right on the windshield that I dry brushed, so it kind of looks like it's transparent, but it's not. It's not at all. And this was another quick car that I had done. Didn't take it apart at all. I basically glued a few items just on the top of it, like the engine was there. I glued this. This is from like a CD-ROM, Space Marine pad, shoulder pad, a gun from Commander Cody, which is a transformer, and then just some bits I had. And yeah, just hand painted it up. And actually I built this car the same day I was building this one, so I did them both at the same time. And here's a buggy, one of the early buggies I had done. And basically it comes completely apart, all the pieces come apart, completely painted interior. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorites, with exploding ram with basically fuel tanks, drums and everything in the barrels right in the front. And then these are the toothpicks that basically crash into a car, the whole thing explodes. There's a lot of some add-ons that I put on this thing to make it look pretty neat. And yeah, and all the rust effects. And then I've got my first Truckasaurus model that I had done, which is based on the Transformers Constructicons. As you can see, he doesn't move, but my next project that's coming out very soon, which you've already seen previews of, definitely moves. So it's the moving on this is actually his like hooks crane. And I mean, this thing that I made is dangling, but other than that, he's just a big menacing monster with a flamethrower, a front cannon, a harpoon, and then like basically each of his arms are considered rams. And he's got an extra motor on top of the long haul here. Just kind of look at the back, in case you haven't seen it too often. Yeah, fully detailed as well. So definitely a fun project. Then I've got the first war rig that I've done. I'm gonna bring it up in two sections. So the first is the main tractor with the front ram with fully detailed out with dirt, all rusted. It's got the word Fury on the side. This was based on the Madmax movie truck, so I kind of wanted to do something that was similar to that. And then I already had this one built for about a couple months before I really painted it, and then I built the trailer to go with it. So fully detailed, rusted, machine gun from a tank kit, car that I cut in half, wooden piles on the side. You got a spool that's copper wire that's ready to be dropped on a car, and spikes, all detailed in all the tires. And yeah, definitely lots of fun. Fully detailed and accessorized upper deck area for the supposed troops to run around in. And yeah, I mean that's that was the first war rig. I'm gonna have some more coming. Some future projects coming up. It's gonna be a school bus, probably call it like the crew bus or something. This one I bought at an antique market, and it's got a metal engine. At least I think that's metal. Yeah, heavy duty, and definitely to me look the part. So versus some of the other ones that I was seeing, and I'm gonna work on converting this guy very, very soon in the near future. And then I want to do something. I want to do something with this guy here. Basically, it's a shopping cart, but I don't know. I may actually use this to build a war rig around it. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. So to me, when I look at this, I already see an engine bay and then basically building a truck around it from scratch. I'm not sure, but I may use the engine for something separately as well. I just got it because I really wanted the motor. So, and then of course you might have seen this Stunticon project that's coming. I'm going to be starting to work on that again. I took a slight break just to kind of work on a couple other models. I thought that I was putting too much of my focus on that, and I wanted to keep things kind of moving forward. So I built this guy together, and then I'm going to be going back to that today. Though I started building my first terrain piece. So this is actually a bomber that it actually still smells because I just painted it. So yeah, it's pretty fresh. I've been spending some time converting it. So basically it's a toy model that I got from like a thrift store, and I just converted it with having like a busted engine, metal pieces everywhere, some details like armor on the side that has been hit by bullets. I was going to make it look like it crashed into a piece of wood. I might still do something like that, or just like make a base for it. But the idea is like basically it's going to be just a train piece, you know, like a bomber. And I felt that it was the right scale. You know, like it's just a small, you know, kind of a plane that could be used as a bomber. I don't know if they ever have rules for that, but this guy could play the part, you know, right from the get-go. So I actually took it apart. I've got video footage of me putting this thing together. So I disassembled it and took some of the pieces out of it that I didn't need. It was actually electronic, and you know, if I could have, these would have been lit up, but I decided to not go that route and removed any of the mechanisms that was on it for the electronics. Anyways, I guess I could have tried to get it to work, but I kind of wanted to make it look like almost like an orc bomber. So today I built this front end piece. I'm going to make like rusted metal out of this, and yeah, this is just a sneak peek to project that I put together. I'm going to start painting it and get it all detailed out, but it's basically a Gaslands bomber that I'm going to have a full video on coming up shortly. So okay, so yeah, this is basically the you know, the first Dirty Dozen with some future projects. I hope you guys like the video and just kind of like how things are going so far. If you've got any suggestions on what to build, what you'd like to see converted, you know, just feel free to let me know in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome for me and how things are everyone's kind of dealing with right now. And yeah, hopefully you're having a great day and enjoying, you know, making builds on your own. And yeah, good luck to you. Thanks.